Guten Tag, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are at season number 6 with Wolfsburg, and we are making some progress, I think. From last season, I'd say winning the Pokal is actually a really good result. It's always a really good result to win that trophy because it's bloody hard to win it, especially avoiding the likes of Bayern Munich and Dortmund. But the same could be said for the league. Now, we're in the UEFA Cup this season. UEFA Cup. Wow, this is because I've been doing the retro databases as well. The Europa League, and we've got a fair chance of going for this. Before we have a look at the transfers, let's have a look at the competitions. If we have a look at the Europa League and have a look at the where is it? Where is it? Bear with me for 2 seconds. We'll pass through the season preview. There we go. So season preview doesn't put any of our players near here at all. It doesn't actually give you the odds yet. Maybe because it hasn't been drawn. But I should imagine our odds are probably around about the middle. Something like that. Because when we have a look at the stages and who's in it, Man U, Atalanta, Lazio, Bayer Leverkusen, Newcastle, Sporting, Shakhtar, Sevilla. There's some really tough teams in there, but I am very hopeful that I've managed to build a decent enough squad to actually challenge for this competition, as well as potentially winning the Pokal again. I think we're still a little bit off in the league, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So financially, I think we had about 89 million to start off with, and I've got 72 million left. That's not to say I haven't spent anything. So if we go back, no wins or outs before the takeover. I decided in Germany, I'll wait until after July starts because the transfers don't go through straight away. Unlike in Britain where they come through, I think, on like the 13th of June, all transfers don't go through until the 1st of July, so I just wait until then instead. But I digress a little bit, and we have a lot of money. We had a lot of money come in. Jonas Wind, I decided to sell him, age 30. Didn't really have the best season last season, so he's gone for almost 40 million to Atletico Madrid. Passalic's time at the club. Thank you very much, Mario Pasalic. He's been excellent, but 16 million for you to go out to the middle of a desert somewhere. Brilliant. Eric Martel, I decided to cut my losses. He's gone to Watford. Patrick Wimmer has gone bye-bye. Sepulveda, gutted I had to sell him, but I've got better players in now. He's gone to West Ham for 14.5. Riedler Baku, 10 million, Lovro Meyer, 8.5, and a few others. Maximilian Arnold, club captain, has gone, which would signify I've brought in a couple of ball-winning midfielders. Silvano Voss never worked out, Adogu's gone as well, so 127 million I brought in. I spent 135. So, going from the bottom. First one, obviously one of the club visions is to bring in German players. Tom Bischoff is a player who I've signed previously. Still 23, still has got a lot of learning and growing to do, but is still a very good central midfielder, so I brought him in. Santiago Navas is an Argentinian regen, and I looked at it, I was like, 5-star ability, or 4.5-star ability. He has come in for 6 million from San Lorenzo. For that, I could not resist it. So he has come in. Caetano Malafea is a Brazilian right back / centre back. 5-star ability, injured. Typical. But for the price that I bought him in for, 8 million, I couldn't argue with that. Another German player has come back to Germany after being at Inter Milan for a little while, and I believe he was out in Switzerland for a little while. Came back to Mainz, then went to Inter, then went to Swansea. Hasn't really had a fair crack at it. But Adriano Onyegbuli is actually an unsung hero on the game a little bit. He has been used previously before. FM23, he was absolutely excellent. But on this, overall attributes are absolutely brilliant. 4-star potential ability. And the fact that I got him for 9 million, absolute steal as far as I'm concerned. I wanted to get a new right back as well. So I brought in Denso Cassius, the man with the 90s hair, the middle part and curtains. A good looking chap that he is, but he's a very solid right back, and he started off really well. I cannot complain. A couple of assists already, a couple of starts, great average rating. I think it's got to be the physicals that are working into his favour. The only thing is he doesn't enjoy the big matches, but he is consistent. So I'd take the consistency over the big matches side of things. So for the 25-year-old Dutchman, Denso Cassius is our right back. And then I brought in a couple of more regens that were considerably more expensive. Stefan Bleibtreu. Bleibtreu? I think that's how you pronounce it. 5-star rated centre-back / DM from Dortmund at 18 years old. Yes, that was pricey, but it's a long-term investment for 25 or nearly 29 million. And then the last one, 68 million in total, from Newcastle, Tobias Palacio, is not a regen, actually. He is a real-life player, I believe, and very, very high ceiling of potential with physicals and mentals like that already, and he's got plenty of time to work on improving all that. He is phenomenal. So again, a long-term investment. Fingers crossed I managed to keep him for the entire save. I would like to keep him for the entire save. But you never know with this game. Somebody's going to probably come in and snipe me with a £100 million bid and off he pops. So who knows. But that's our transfers. Tactically wise, I've kept it exactly the same, but I've put in Master Antuano and Van der Meer for the start of the season to see how they get on. Because they want some game time. The other thing is that our squad looks a little bit shrunk. So to compete on 3 competitions with 21 players, I may have overstretched myself a little bit here, but the way it's worked out so far, it's done alright. So yeah, no goals conceded, a lot of goals scored. Next game against Sao Pauli, we're in a good position. 2 wins from 2, 6th in the league. Let's go and find out how we get on and roll the highlights reel. I'll see you in a few seconds. Well, this was the season we took a big step and things have started to click and also proved to be the Maxi Bayer season. We had an almost perfect start to the season, recording 6 league wins in our first 9 games. 3-0 win versus Hertha Berlin, a 1-0 win versus Bayer Leverkusen, and a 5-0 smashing of Schalke sets us well on our way. In fact, this is one of our best results seasons yet. Only losing 5 games in total all season, but still smashing in wins like a 4-0 versus a 4-1 versus Heidenheim, a 4-0 versus St. Pauli, and a 4-0 versus Frankfurt. Sadly though, we couldn't retain the Pokal despite earlier wins versus Plauen, plus a 5-3 versus St. Pauli. We were eventually knocked out in the quarterfinals by Bayern Munich, pretty comprehensively 3-0. This is not the end, however. As well as having our best league season yet, in the Europa League we were utterly dominant, winning 6 out of our 8 league fixtures, including a 2-1 versus Lazio and a 1-0 versus Shakhtar, helped us qualify in the top 8, avoiding that knockout round. We went on to beat Lugano 5-2 on aggregate, again beating Atalanta 5-2 on aggregate, and then beating Newcastle United in the semis 3-1 on aggregate to take us into the Europa League final for a titanic showdown versus Man United, where we were actually victorious and won 2-0 to lift the Europa League title and claim our 2nd European trophy and cap off a fantastic season. Come on. Yes. Another bit, again, it's a step up in the European silverware, because at the end of the day, I want to get Wolfsburg up into the echelons of the European elite, and we're making the right steps. We now have the Conference League in the bag, we have the Europa League in the bag. Unfortunately, we don't have another Pokal or a league title, but our league form was absolutely excellent this season. Pokal, not too bad. Being knocked out by Bayern in the quarterfinals, I'm not too salty about. I think that's okay. Obviously, it's not okay getting beat and knocked out, but it'll do. it will do, because we finished back in the Champions League qualification, and we have a Europa League title, and to top it off even more, we beat Man United in the final as well. So I'm well happy with that. Well happy with it. Let's say if we have a look at the Europa League before we have a look at the normal league. League phase, top 8, that's what I was hoping for at the start of the season. Absolutely perfect. Then round of 16, Lugano, absolutely battered them. Quarter-final, Atalanta. Semi-finals, Newcastle. And then in the final, 2-0 against Man United. Beautiful. Weirdly enough though, only three players, sorry. Bernal with the highest average rating. Mamardashvili, joint third with the clean sheets. And joint top with the assists was Parisi. So, I think we kind of deserved it. I don't know whether I undersold us a little bit. I sort of didn't really have enough faith in it. But we did do really well. And we did even better. Having a slightly smaller squad, a couple of players short, yeah, somehow we managed to give Bayern a decent run for the money, and we only finished, what's that, 8 points. So technically only 3 wins off the top, which I'm very happy with. If we have a look as well, as I said in the highlights reel, it's been the Maxi Bayer season. Maximilian Bayer has been phenomenal. 33 goals in 54 games, not a game missed, and 14 assists with an average rating of 7.47. Wow. Unbelievable. He has been excellent for us. He's been here, what, 4 seasons? Yeah, 4 seasons, and he's just getting better and better. Really no complaints about him at all. And if we have a look at the squad, actually, obviously he is going to be the top scorer, but Van Persie is actually hitting the ground now, and 25 and 9, 17 and 14 from Master Antoine. That's not bad. Even Onyegbuli getting 5 and 4, 12 assists from Cassius. That's good. 12 assists again from Parisi, 6 and 8 from Asta Varanks. Again, all the players are starting to perform, and they're starting to perform at a really high level. So I'm very happy with that. I cannot complain at all. But we do go into season 7 back in the Champions League. We're not going to win the Champions League in season 7, I can tell you that right now. But we need to build on this league push now. That is the key thing. So, what can be done? Well, I've got nearly 100 million in a transfer budget, so perhaps it's time to bring in a couple of big signings, or do I stick with the philosophy of bringing in some young up-and-comers? It's a tough choice. But you'll have to come and join season number 7 to come and find out what I actually do with it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon and share the channel around. It'd be absolutely fantastic if you could do that for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ra.